Previously on Conveni Wars. After a prolonged confrontation, the evil Emperor God finally made his appearance. Poised to finally attack Mother, guardian ruler of the Convenience Star, the four beings who called themselves Emperor God were confronted in their fortress of a spacecraft by the heroes of legend. Rahman of the Noodle Clan, Yuran-chan of the Drink Clan, Bon Curry of the Curry Clan, and Meat Man of the Food Clan, the newest member of the team. With their ally Charhan working in the shadows, Mother lent the battle-weary team the last of her strength, and together they brought an end to the threat of Emperor God. Also, one of them didn't suddenly revive himself in time travel. That was a misconception brought about by the belief that the story on the back of the Tomy distributed Barcode Battler box was more accurate to the Epoch source material than it actually was. Greetings Barcode Battler fans, and welcome to my overview of the Barcode Battler II. If you've caught up with our earlier videos detailing the events of the Conveni Wars, you'll probably know that this second version of the Barcode Battler hardware is accompanied by the 5th chapter of the Conveni Wars series. While this video is likely a few months late, this year marks the 30th anniversary of the Barcode Battler II's release. Released in 1992 at a retail price of 7,800 yen, this chapter was adapted the following year by Tomy for their European version of the Barcode Battler, which uses a slightly rebranded version of the hardware, most notably dropping the 2 from the title. Irwin Toys also used this same rebranded hardware, with a very different looking story. But the Tomy and Irwin versions of the Barcode Battler will have to wait for another video. Without any further distraction, let's dive into the Barcode Battler II. Conveni Wars Story 2: Warriors Across Space and Time. Long ago, there was a 5-star system called the Barcode Nebula, inhabited by tribes managed by barcodes. Among them, on the Convenience Star, Emperor God, who desired to rule the universe by force, and Mother, the peace-loving guardian of the Convenience Star, were in conflict. After many battles, their conflict ended with Mother's followers victorious, and the peaceful times continued. Today, time machines have come into practical use, and a new era of time travel to the past and future has dawned. In order to protect the history of the Barcode Nebula, Mother's history management system uses 3 Register Stone keys for each of the 4 eras. However, Emperor God, who had been destroyed, was revived by the demonic scientist Dr. Recycle, who stole the keys, disabling the history management system. Without the Register Stone keys, the history of all 4 eras has become warped and the time travel system itself shut down. In order to reshape the history of the 5 worlds to his liking, Emperor God attached the keys to his own time machine and traveled to the past with Dr. Recycle. The tribes of each of the 5 worlds in all 4 eras were brainwashed and turned into minions of evil. In response to this great crisis, 6 warriors gathered from the distant reaches of the Barcode Nebula to defeat Emperor God under the orders of Mother. They were the descendants of the heroes of the Conveni Wars of old. They used the spare Register Stone in the time machine to travel into the past, confront Emperor God, and retrieve the 12 keys. As though history were repeating itself, an epic conflict between the 6 heroes and Emperor God was about to begin. It seems we can't have anything nice. With peace restored, and time travel becoming a part of everyday life, a new threat has appeared. The nefarious Dr. Recycle makes his debut appearance here. He pilfers the 12 Register Stone keys and uses them to corrupt the timeline, reviving the 4 beings known as Emperor God as part of his evil plan to rule the Barcode Nebula in 4 separate time periods. Luckily, Mother has a spare piece of Register Stone lying around, and while it isn't enough to restore the timeline on its own, it is enough to be able to send 6 heroes, or 8 if you're lucky enough to have obtained the 2 event giveaway cards as well, back to the Super Age, the earliest of the time periods corrupted by Dr. Recycle. The 8 new warriors are Raman Champ, the grandson of the original Emperor Raman; Oolong Lee, the nephew of Uron Chan; Max Fry, who gives service with a smile and is popular with the ladies; Vermon Curif, the son of Bon Curry; Princess Gummy, a Herculean toddler who rides a mechanical lion; Chinese Yomai, who ensnares foes with her hypnotic dancing; Roast Pork Fan, a lifelong friend of Oolong Lee; and Dentala, who often has to clean up after Princess Gummy. Across the 4 time periods, you'll find characters old and new, heroes who have fallen to the side of evil, and some strange-looking characters indeed. Will the new generation of heroes be able to retrieve all of the keys, defeat the 4 Emperor gods, and find their way to Dr. Recycle? Upon starting the Barcode Battler II, the player can choose from 3 modes, 2 of which are related to the story, and a third which could be described as a contest to find the strongest fighter. Pressing the select button allows for cycling through the modes, while set confirms the selection. This all seems very familiar. C0 mode allows for 2-player battling. Players can pit any soldier, wizard, enemy, or boss barcode against any other, be they official or something random cut from a retail package. The way many of the retail barcodes are converted into game elements is different to the method used by the original Barcode Battler, but I'll have to save this for a Barcode Battler 2 technical video. Unlike B2 mode on the original Barcode Battler, it is no longer possible to enter a passcode for a hero barcode in the 2-player mode. This is due to the way passcodes have changed to accommodate unique pairs of soldiers and wizards, resulting in them not working for solo combatants. The escape function found in C1 mode doesn't work here either. There's no running from another player. Upon entering C0 mode, player 1 must scan in their fighter, followed by player 2. Each player then has the option to scan an item. The Barcode Battler 2 has all of the card types found on its predecessor, plus some new ones. The soldier type has access to weapons, armor, and power cards, as well as the new herb cards. Wizards can use power and herb cards, and the new magic cards. They can't handle weapons or armor, and similarly, magic cards cannot be used by soldiers. In rare cases, it's possible to scan another fighter in place of an item, but certain parts of both barcodes must be the same. When this happens, the stats of both fighters are added together, creating a Gatai Senshi, or fused fighter. If a player doesn't want to use an item card, they may press set to skip this stage. With the battle underway, the Barcode Battler 2 will randomly choose which player will go first. This is indicated by the red LEDs below the LCD screen. Each player's battle button will initiate an attack, while their power button will allow the player to heal. Unlike the original Barcode Battler, healing is limited by the number of herb points available. Each player starts with 5 herb points, and 1 is consumed each time the power button is used. Health points are capped at whatever value they had when the first combatant was chosen. Another major change to the way battles are played comes in the form of the magic and herb screen. From here it's possible for wizards to choose between magic and herb points, but soldiers only have access to herbs. Select switches between magic and herbs, then set confirms the selection. The herb screen allows the player to choose to use 1, 2, or 3 herb points all in one go, restoring a bigger chunk of missing health points as more herb points are used. The magic screen is a little more complicated. Wizards have access to a selection of spells, which each have names and are indexed as F0 to F9. Effects such as reducing the opponent's stats, increasing their own stats, and stealing magic points are among the results you can see by using spells, but keep an eye on how many magic points you have remaining. The first player to deplete their opponent's health points is the winner. C1 mode sees the player selecting 1 each of the soldier and wizard cards to take on the armies in each of the 4 time periods. As previously mentioned, the 5 worlds of the Barcode Nebula
exist in each time period, and each world is host to 4 enemies and a boss. Each opponent has set stats, but these vary slightly depending on your choice of soldier and wizard. The weakest opponents won't always be found in the first world. The 3 keys of each era are scattered between the 5 worlds. The individual enemy holding the key also varies depending on the heroes in play. Cycle through the worlds by pressing select and choose one by pressing set. From here an enemy is randomly selected. The battle begins once the player has used the select button to choose their soldier or wizard, then confirm their choice by pressing set. At the start of each battle, the player has the option to flee. Pressing the R power button will attempt to do this, but it can fail on occasion. Escaping at this point will take the player back to the World Select screen. When the player is happy to continue, they can scan in a power-up item. Weapons, armor, power or health, magic, herbs, and news are all available in the box. If the player is confident enough, pressing their set key will skip the item scan step. Once per era, it's also possible to use the news cards. This will narrow down the search for the Register Stone keys, which are vital for unlocking the Emperor God Station. With the battle underway, the Barcode Battler will randomly choose the player or their opponent to go first. Battles play out in more or less the same fashion as in C0 mode, with the player using the L side buttons for battle and recovery actions. If a battle is going poorly, it's also possible to escape using the R battle button. A successful escape here will see the player face a different random enemy on the same world. The battle ends when either the player or their opponent's health is reduced to 0. Regular enemies and world bosses reward the player with small stat increases, while Emperor God Station bosses will give passcodes, which confer a boost to all 3 stats. To view a passcode, press L power while the end of battle screen is still displayed immediately after defeating an Emperor God Station boss. Another new feature is the ability to save game data. This can be done between battles by pressing the R battle button. Unlike a passcode, the save game will store all changes to stats, as well as which enemies have been defeated in the current era and which keys have been collected. On top of the convenience of the save game feature being faster to operate than inputting a passcode, save games have completely replaced passcodes for C1 and may now only be used in C2 mode. Loading a game can be done by pressing R battle at the point where soldier and wizard cards would normally be scanned. If at any point you've suffered a loss, turning off the Barcode Battler II, restarting and then loading the game will give you a fresh shot at making progress without having to replay all the way through to that point. Upon defeating Emperor God RX CT 7000, yes, that is his name, you'll be given a passcode which will make your hero strong enough to move on to the C2 mode. C2 mode sees the player take on the might of Dr. Recycle and twisted versions of heroes and villains from another dimension.
Conveni Wars Story 2: Warriors Across Space and Time. 9 monsters have been summoned by Dr. Recycle with the forbidden power of the Register Stone. Superpowered lifeforms from a world of ultra-negative energy. How can the 6 heroes stand up to an army of monsters with strength beyond the Emperor Gods? And will they be able to quell Dr. Recycle's ambitions?
After completing C1 mode, choose the same soldier and wizard to take on the might of Dr. Recycle. After scanning a wizard card, press the L power key to enter the passcode you obtained at the end of Era 4. Pressing select will change the current digit, while set confirms the current digit and moves on to the next one. Once the final digit is confirmed, the entered numbers will either be accepted or rejected. A successful code will show the stats of both fighters being changed. Just to warn you, the enemy with the lowest number here isn't necessarily the weakest. 4 of the enemies will give the hero a stat boost when defeated, while 3 of the others will reward the player with another passcode. The remaining 2 each drop a different stat by 30% for an extra challenge. Interestingly, the boss, Death Too High, also gives a stat boost instead of ending the game. Looking more closely at the ability flags, the Barcode Battler II doesn't have a boss flag, so C2 is technically endless. Other than that, the gameplay is more or less the same as in C1 mode. The Barcode Battler II is definitely an improvement over the original. In keeping with what came before it, it's still limited in terms of its replay value, but with a little imagination it's not a bad game, and with the new battle mechanics involving wizards, spells, and limited health recovery, there's more to consider in terms of tactics. The story also progresses, and while the overall form factor and control layout are unchanged, there is an interesting extra feature which allows for connectivity to other devices. I'll cover this in the later Conveni Wars videos, as well as in a future Famicom and Super Famicom game video. One aspect which grabs my attention in this chapter of Conveni Wars is the sheer variety of enemy designs in the manual. Some of the more interesting choices include Dr. Pepper and his Dongvac, young Euron-chan, who is a delinquent from an altered timeline, Emperor God Hitler, who had a makeover from his days as Robo-God and now has trouble finding Berlin on a map, and Dadan P, who was my waifu back before waifus were a thing. She made it into the Tomy manual as Nightstick, and, as a teenager, I never realised just how big her guns were. I guess I had my eye on something else. As with the original model, the Barcode Battler II had its share of variants. At the moment, we're aware of 2 Japanese exclusive limited editions, the first of which is this standard black model with 8 stickers on it. The detailed text on our specimen is a little worn, but thankfully the stickers are intact. The dragon character on each of the power and battle buttons is the mascot of Koro Koro magazine, and the human character on the left is known as Hataman, who is featured on a CD music album about the Barcode Battler. Unfortunately, I can't find any information about the man on the right. Translations for the text are on screen. We don't have any information on how many of these were given away, or how many are estimated to exist, but we do see these in Japanese auction listings on occasion. The other known variation is the Gold Barcode Battler II, which can be distinguished from the classic Gold Barcode Battler by its blue buttons, which were black on the original. The picture shown here is courtesy of our Japanese associate, Final Fighter, who has one of these in his possession. As we can appreciate, it is the pride of his collection, and he plans to hold on to it for the rest of his life. Final Fighter informs us 50 of these were given away in a 6th grade tournament. According to his estimate, there may be as few as 5 left in existence. No exclusive cards are known to exist for either of the limited editions of the Barcode Battler II. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of the Barcode Battler II. If you found this video to be informative, please drop a like or a comment. Your feedback is invaluable. You might be thinking, hey, you left out the technical section of this overview, and you'd be right. There's so much more that the Barcode Battler II does over its predecessor that it's worth putting into its own video. If you'd like to see more from this channel, please consider subscribing and ring the bell to be notified when our next video drops. Hopefully we'll have something ready in February 2023. In the meantime, we'll be updating the website with all the information seen in this video and more. A big thank you to our subscribers. While you may be few in number, your presence assures us this channel's content may answer some of the questions you have about the Barcode Battler product line. For anyone considering supporting the Barcode Battler Museum financially, we have a Patreon account. The link is in the description, and a list of our current supporters is about to go up the screen. What? No supporters? After all the great content we've provided? If I weren't such a chill dude, I'd be outraged. We'll just have to send Snowboy round to convince all of you to sign up. He knows where you live. Patreon supporters will receive access to our translated manuals a whole month before the rest of the world. So what are you waiting for? It's also the only legitimate way of accessing our Super Barcode Wars Dragon Ball Z manual translation. Sign up to our new Wizard tier, and you'll also have the opportunity to be a part of our future videos. In the meantime, we'll have to resort to sponsorships. Today's sponsor is the Square Inch Titans. The Square Inch Titans offers you the chance to purchase a square inch of land in a cloudy area of Yorkshire. You too can follow the ancient Antish custom of being revered as a Titan by the ants that live under your land. As well as this, the Square Inch Titans pledge to plant dozens of blades of grass and help maintain the verdant pastures of Yorkshire. Sign up before the end of December 2022 and you'll also receive a free can of mushy peas!
Hey, by gum, I could murder a plate of mushy peas.
The Square Inch Titans is a parody and as such is not a real sponsor. You won't be able to sign up before the end of December or at any other time, and there are no free cans of mushy peas. Our next video will cover the Tommy and Irwin releases of the Barcode Battler in Europe and North America, with the following video covering the technical aspects of the handheld. Thanks for watching, I hope to see you next time.